Yo, what up, everybody? Doing my weekly video, kind of my weekend review, just kind of catching you guys up, catching up with you all on everything that's going on with myself, the Rippaverse, and everything. This past week was a very productive week. We noticed that there was a hiccup. We have like two different teams, you guys know this, that handle your orders, which is why sometimes they come out of Tennessee, sometimes they come out of like Denton area, Texas, and there was a hiccup in terms of like the back end of how many signed copies that we actually needed, and we kind of undershot. So I had to get a lot of my guys, a lot of my remote folk to come in town. And this past week, we were all working. We got all the copies signed. We also got them palletized. We sent them to the location that is handling a lot of the signed copies or the orders that have just books. And they'll have those early next week. But big shout out to those guys, the Rippaverse team, and how hard it is that they work, man. When you're dealing with a startup, everybody knows that they're going to have to take up extra responsibilities, especially when there's a lot of growth. And my team, I could not have done this certainly without them, from Carol to Andrew to my operations guy and Brandon and Christian, who's also at the warehouse. Everybody that's been helping us out this past week. Of course, Rady, she does a phenomenal job on the back end, certainly with the customer relations stuff and errors with orders and making sure we get a lot of those resolved. I would not have been able to do any of this without that team, and they deserve such a huge shout out. I can't wait till after the campaign, and we're gonna kind of have a series of meetings and talk about kind of different positions that are available and opening and all that, because there's a lot of opportunity that's certainly happening. But it was a very productive week. I believe it's like 8,000 or so orders that we have left, so we're churning, we're getting through it. And we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. There's a lot of you guys' stuff that we need to make sure we get out. Certainly a lot of merchandise related material. A lot of them will be going out this week, especially since we have those signed copies now done. So we're not having to dedicate labor towards signing books. We can actually just get the stuff out there. So you guys are going to be getting it's going to be, I think this will be pretty much I know I've said this before, but our most productive week. I think now that we can just focus on getting items out, and we have a couple of people that will be out, of course, that will be here as well. Though some of my remote guys went back home. Of course, we still have Brian here, Carol's here. And look, man, I can't wait to get back to creating content and doing stuff of that nature, but it's still a lot of it's going to be centered around the Rippaverse. Look, we'll have our big, like kind of spoiler talk stream and talking about the future of the company. And there's going to be so much content that is going to be coming out pertaining to the Rippaverse, announcements of free future books and all that. We're over 50 pages done of ISOM #2. So I know a lot of you guys are excited about that, and the reviews continue to come in. The people that have done your reviews, I appreciate you guys. It's been largely 99% of the folks that got it are satisfied. There's going to be those outliers, being some of them haters that were going to hate me regardless, and some being maybe guys that just weren't into it, and that's fine too. There will be plenty of books that will be available for those that may be more up your alley if you did not like ISOM. But to all of you that showed your support, I still certainly do appreciate it, and I'm loving the fact that, most people like it. And we had a big meeting. I do want to talk about this. This is going to be just me rambling. You know how these streams go, or not streams, or videos. But Rippaverse Headquarters 2.0. We had a great meeting about that this past Saturday, so yesterday. We've been in talks with certainly a location that we had been scoping out, a new build. There's some more construction that we have needing to be getting done, and that's pretty much where the deal is at. That's the stage that we're at. It looks like everybody's kind of on the same page as far as the numbers. Just got to make the dollars make sense, and then there's going to be a new headquarters that we're going to kind of have that'll be based, of course, out of Texas, that will act as not just a fulfillment center area, but also as our headquarters. So a lot of our remote guys will be able to move out here, and we'll be able to have a local team. And I cannot wait to get to that point, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities art-wise, and as well as just positions within the Rippaverse team that will be opening up. Of course, we got to get through this first campaign before we even cross that bridge. The headquarters is going to happen regardless, but as far as bringing more people on, No, look, nature of what it is that I do, I have to watch out for bad actors and people that wish to do harm. So we can't just bring anybody in, but there will be certainly a bunch of vetting processes that will be in play. And I can't wait to bring more people on, more opportunities, more books, which means just we're taking this thing serious, man. I think now that folks got the book, they see the quality of it. They know that we're not playing around. They know that this is not something that it was a get rich quick scheme and it was just going to stop. No, I was not playing around. I'm going to continue to put this work out, and I would appreciate certainly you guys' support. But look, this is a long-term thing. This is not something that is just going to happen overnight, and we recognize that. And I think we're doing it the right way, not taking off more than certainly we can handle, or taking on more than we can handle, but we certainly are going to make sure that we're doing things the right way. It's more so what it is. And Rippaverse, Warehouse 2.0's headquarters, rather 1.0. I'm really excited about that because it just even more so further kind of legitimizes everything it is that we are doing. So we'll be announcing some of that stuff soon. You guys know that by now. And matter of fact, I might just play that video while I'm here. There were some videos that went out over the Rippaverse Comics YouTube page, which you certainly should. Yeah, let's check this out real quick. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this because I don't have my headphones in. I think you should be able to hear it, right? Yeah, you guys can hear it. All right, so let's go to this real quick. I know y'all can see that you can hear it. I don't know how good the audio is going to be. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Fan art contest is officially ended. And Clarence Junius Good, I probably butchered your name, homie. One of the finalists did a great job on this piece here. Yaira and Isam, I love the art on this. And by the way, let me go and just explain the kind of the process with this. As we announced, this was something that we had chose, and you can still view a lot of them on the fan art page. We're going to keep that page active and continue to utilize that page to highlight artists that we think do a phenomenal job on that. That will be expanding. But for this fan art contest, it was something that the team was a collaborative effort. This was not simply me. In fact, most of the decision was made by my team, and I wanted to see where they were at. We compiled the list of the contestants, and then we narrowed it down to the finalists, and then we decided who was a winner. And of course, we're going to be sending all those projects out to those guys. But man, there is so much talent. I know I'm kind of stopping and starting this. I'm sorry, Bob Raymond here, but there's so much talent. Got another Isam Yaira. I love the kind of stylistic approach here with a unique approach to Yaira as well as Isam. That was what really got this one, and you'll see this as well as with the winner. Like just the way that they went about certainly doing their artwork is what we wanted to make sure that we paid attention to. And the grand prize winner, and remember, Steven Sanchez. A lot of people knew it when this came up. Like this was gonna be in contention. Again, going back to kind of the stylistic approach of it all, Steven's own kind of rendition of Yaira. Man, this came out so cool. Really excited for this guy. Of course, being the winner, you know that he's going to get an actual paid commission from us, as well as all of the things that we have available with everything it is that we're doing. So congratulations certainly to all of the contestants, all the people that entered. I want to be very clear, man. The fact that, we put this out and there were some people like, well, what about this person's art? What about this person? That's a good thing. It was very difficult for us to choose because there's a lot of talent out here and people that were doing just phenomenal work. So it was very difficult to kind of narrow that down to the handful of people that we did narrow it down to. But big shout out to everybody that entered, because you guys highlighted just how much talent is within this community. And it really makes me excited for what's to come, because what we did with this is an example of what is yet to come. And that is that I don't care how big your name is. Okay. If you got talent, I want to see, not just for myself, but for you as well, if there's some way that we can highlight it. And that means more commissions that have nothing to do with us, but just great people doing great artwork. And yeah, you may not have the resources that some of the other folks have, but maybe you just need that highlight and, talent is talent. And I want to be able to do that. And of course, if we got a spot for you over at Rippaverse Comics and where we can kind of place you, we want the best of the best. And if we feel like you certainly fit that bill, we want to be able to, offer you things. So big shout out to Steven Sanchez. What phenomenal work, as well as the other contestants and winners. So that ended. What else happened this week? Oh, we got some I know Critical Drinker dropped his project. I retweeted it the other day. Let me post about that as well. The guy mainly, with certainly all the love that he certainly showed me with my project, which I appreciate so much. I want to make sure we highlight his real quick, as you see right now. And this link, here it is, Rogue Elements, a Ryan Drake short film. This is his own project that now he's trying to do a short film based upon what he's done. And he's already, we got 26 days to go. This has been like 3 days and some change. So not even long. He's already at nearly $250,000. So 3,000 backers, that is huge. You can visit the Kickstarter, Rogue Elements, a Ryan Drake short film. Just go ahead and search that. Big shout out to the Critical Drinker and everything it is that he's doing. I love to see stuff like this. We got Shottiversity, who's having a lot of success with his comic that he put out there, that he's going to be crowdfunding as well. I love to see this type of stuff. Look, man, we do not need the old guard. I don't care how many people have convinced you. I know the doom and gloomers thought that we couldn't do it, and now they see, well, wait a minute, maybe there's a market for this. Who the hell cares about anything that these weirdos say about us, about competing, right? We get out there, we do our thing, we give it a shot, and I promise you, if it's decent, you have to work on your craft. You have to put something that is out there that's presentable. You can't tail it, because look at what you are competing against. But to act like it cannot be done, certainly in this day and age, is a lie. I think what a lot of these people want, especially our detractors, what they wanted us is to not give it a shot, because what that is more tangible. It really shows that, well, these guys that have been talking all of this and the people that support them actually do have just a little bit of pull at minimum. Yeah, surely they're not a part of the mainstream, but I say this about comics. I told y'all long before, this idea that we couldn't be competitive was a lie altogether, because you guys are overstating how many comics actually sell, particularly graphic novels, actually sell by way of the big dogs. And by them, I'm not just saying Marvel and DC, I'm saying all the major indies that use the same resources that they use as well, and cycle through the same talent. Those guys, they're not just knocking it out the park with what it is they're doing, especially with the graphic novels. We went through those numbers according to ICV2 and Comicron. They're not doing as well as you may think. They can be competed against and with, and I think people don't like that. This really shows that it absolutely can. So as to be expected with this work and anything that Critical Drinker does, anything that Shottiversity does, anything that anybody really within our circle, Comics Gate guys do. Big shout out to Shane Davis. By the way, Inglorious Rex, I believe you can sign up for that. Let me make sure that I got that right. You can sign up for Inglorious Rex 2. Man, Shane Davis, we had him on the show. If I'm not mistaken, yes, you can go sign up for that. Fulfillment started, I believe, this past week. You can sign up right now for Volume 2 of Inglorious Rex. He's done a phenomenal job with everything that he's done. He's been taking a lot of pictures of it. You see people getting their comic books, their stickers, and all that sort of stuff. I absolutely love to certainly see that. And this guy's been working very hard. Look at that. Man, this is a good feeling. I know this from experience with the boxes and stuff. Man, you get all this stuff out, knowing that it's going to be, they're 2/3 way of their fulfillment. You know that there's going to be people that are getting their books. We're doing the reviews. That gets me so stoked. So a big shout out to Shane Davis, who started that in fulfillment not too long ago, and on October the 30th, as it says in this post. So we're right around the corner. You will be able to sign up or you can already sign up to get the notifications, and you should. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some 24-hour stuff. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but there's going to be some, hey, you got to get in where you fit in type of stuff. Big shout out to Shane Davis. Inglorious Rex 2, you can go sign up. Looks like Inglorious Rex #1, Volume 1 is out there, and people are able to get their items now, or rather are getting their items. There's a lot of stuff just happening in our circle right now, and I absolutely love to see it. And I love to, people are winning. And it's not about the detractors. I mean, we say that to make fun of them and to really highlight how we were right about them all along. But this is not why we do this. We do it for the customers. We do it for the people that really want to get back to good material. It's funny. I've heard some things, or not heard, I've seen some of my detractors, some of what they say. It's like, oh, well, this isn't doing anything new as far as ISOM and Rippaverse. Funny, it went from, well, it'll never come out to, well, it's going to suck. And now that minimum, they'll say it's mid, which basically means it's average at best, which is still better than a lot of the content that's out there. But they're having to concede it ain't just absolute trash, though there are people that are certainly going to say that. And, you know, the thing about that is that with what it is that I do and what it is that other folks are doing with comics, using this as an example, when you look at like in the 90s when there was kind of this big comic book shakeup, you had Image launching and all that stuff, I look at that movement as something that was more based on the creators, right? That was a creative movement. They wanted to own their own, let's say, characters. That kind of what spawned, for lack of better terms, out of that. Well, I think that what's happening right now, whether it be, you know, people dubbing it the Iron Age and all that, big shout out to Razor Fist, is that this is about the customers more than anything. Of course, it's creatives are part of it. You've got to have the creatives, but as to where in the 90s, that little movement was more creator-owned, at least in the books and the comic book sense. This is not creator-owned, a more creative-led movement. It was more so about the creatives. This is about more so the customers more than anything. So with my project, when you get folks to say, well, it's not reinventing the wheel, I'm fine with that. Like that doesn't hurt my feelings, certainly at all. That's kind of the point. The point was I wanted to make this book as well as launch this entire universe and give people something to get enthusiastic about, you know, and something that people want to look forward to keeping up with, like they did if they were former comic book guys that, you know, used to go to the shop every Wednesday. And big shout out to the comic book shops that have sold out. MyComicShop.com, by the way, big shout out to them, one of the biggest online retailers. They had their copies of ISOM by day 2, or actually, you know, the next day. They sold out of both of them bad boys. I think day 1, cover A, was already sold out. So big shout out to them. But yeah, it's like I want to give people that enthusiasm, and that will be familiar for a lot of people. So it's not about trying to reinvent the wheel. It's about giving them what they want. That's what this is about, giving the customers what it is that they want. Whether you consider that a new thing or old thing, I don't really care what you call that. As long as I am providing something that the customers are willing to pay for, that's what it's about. Giving them somewhere to escape, get lost in, have some fun. And that's what it's about, man. Excuse me, to see all these people enthusiastic about comics again. And let's talk about the newbies. Like, that's a big part of it. It's funny. These folks called us the gatekeepers. And now you got detractors who are so upset and irate at the fact that, well, a lot of his guys are first-time comic readers. They're new. What's the problem? I thought that y'all were calling us gatekeepers for like talking about material that wasn't based on the source material and criticizing it. And you talk about new audiences, and now you have something that is introducing new audiences to comic books, which is a benefit to everybody, right? Because my comic is not going to be for a lot of people the only one that they own. If they like that, they're going to look into others sort of comics. It's almost as if they were projecting. But to see all the new folks, people that tag me, hey, this is my first comic that I've ever got. That's what it's about. This hobby is valuable. It can thrive. It's thirsty market, and people want this type of stuff. You know, the fact that I can be a part of it is awesome. You guys have changed my life. I keep saying that because it's actually true, and I just can't wait to get more books out to you guys. And that was basically the weekend review. I know, hey, where are your videos? No, Rippaverse, I like it. Where's the videos, man? Mr. Strange, I miss it too. But this is what it's about right now, and we will get to a point to where I won't have to be a part of the entire fulfillment process, so I will be able to dedicate my time and resources to the creative stuff, which has to do with doing videos. But we're not there yet. We have to grow into that, and we got to at least get through this first deal. So until then, I am working a 12-hour shift minimum every single day throughout the week. And I'm packing the hell out some orders. So That's just what it's going to be for right now. But we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm interested to see how many books we're going to be able to get out in the upcoming week. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce. Thank you all so much for the continued support. You can still get ISOM #1 cover C. Still available, as well as the Yara shirt. Just they won't ship until next month after we finish this entire campaign. So we'll be seeing you guys soon enough.